Hey everybody, this is Patty. I live in Garden in a Zone 8A, Mississippi, where it is hot and humid for most of the summer. Today is late June, and today was about 91 degrees and 60% humidity. So that's pretty sticky. But it was a good day. I was off today and I had lots of fun. I told y'all yesterday in a video that I was going to play pickleball this morning with a friend of mine, and I was kind of nervous about it because I'd never played before. And I had a great time. I thought it was lovely. The people that I played with were very nice and of course, showed me the ropes and kind of walked me through how to play and the rules, and they were very helpful and very kind and made me feel welcome, and I'll probably go back. I thought it was a lot of fun. And after that, I went to a little, well, it's like a hardware store, but they have a nursery, or well, they sell plants too. They sell annual and perennial plants. And I went by there to see if they had anything left, with it being, kind of late in the summer for plants. And while I was there, I recorded what they had available, and I'll show y'all some of those recordings. It was kind of slim pickings. I'll just go ahead and admit it. It's just not the time of year for garden centers around here, in my little area anyway. They get their big plant loads in early in the year because we can start putting plants in the ground in April. Our last frost date is around April 15th, and a lot of people will start putting things out, setting things out, before that, if they feel comfortable enough with the weather. But so the garden centers get things early, and it's by this time of year it's sort of struggling. A lot of the plants are sort of struggling. So, but I was pleased with some of the things, so I was able to purchase a few items. But I'm going to go ahead and show y'all what they had available, or some of the things that they had available, and then I'll show y'all what I got. Ooh, we have some grasses over here that look good. Lemongrass, that's what it is. Looks pretty good. Tall grasses like that always make me itch. Make my arms itchy, like when I walk by them. There's some more citronella. Here's some little 6-packs. These are Beacon Chicago Mix Impatiens. I think they're just getting too much sun right there. Oh, these are asters. Those have pretty blooms. Of course, everything is just looking a little sad at this time. It's just really the wrong time of year to try to be planting some pots with pretty annuals and perennials. But look at this. Doesn't that stop you in your tracks? What do we have here? This is saying it is a Rudbeckia. And that's just beautiful. I might have to get that. And look, this is a perennial. And these things are $2.99. And it'll come back next year for me. So, yeah, I'm going to get that. It's going in the buggy. I might have to get some more of them. Let's see, what else? Let me just show y'all what they have before I start picking up what I'm going to get. Some more impatiens. Begonias. I bought some of these earlier and put them in some pots and stuff. And they just don't look the best, even at my house. They get, the leaves, they just look really tender. And even in the back where I have more shade, they look sort of fried on the ends like that. I don't know if I'll go that route again. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at this. Now, This is one flower. This is a Prairie Sun. It's called Prairie Sun Black-Eyed Susan Rudbeckia. It's a perennial, but look at this right here. You see how it's got that sort of deformed looking double head on the one flower? That may not be a good sign. I've heard people say before that that may be an indication of some sort of a disease, so I don't think I'll be getting that one. I have some petunias. Those look pretty good. That red, white, and blue, I know that's purple, but in plant terms, there's really not many blues, so a lot of times they'll say purple is blue. But anyway, that looks kind of patriotic, doesn't it? Ooh, these are pretty. These are Angelonia, and they really do well in the heat. Those look good. I might have to get some of those. Oh, this is isn't this foliage pretty? It's variegated. It's called aluminum plant pilea. Let's see what this says. Aluminum plant. Grown mainly for its foliage, as the tiny flowers are insignificant. Plant as an accent in mixed containers, dish gardens, terrariums, or as a house plant in bright filtered light. That's pretty. White-edged Swedish ivy. That looks pretty good. We've got some tried and true Echinacea purpura, purple coneflower, and those look good. And then there's a white one also. Those look really good. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong with Echinacea. I recommend it. Oh, isn't this pretty? Euphorbia. I like the little sparkle that this gives a container. I might get one of those. Here's some more Rudbeckia. Oh, this one looks a lot better than the ones over there. Goldstrom. Yep. I'll be taking some of that home with me. See, because that comes back. It blooms so prolifically and it comes back every year. So I'm going to get that. Here's some little nano blue butterfly bush. And they're small, but I guess they would fill in. In fact, I got a couple of those back earlier in the year and planted them, and you know, they're alive and kicking, but they hadn't filled out a whole lot. Look at this grass. That's interesting. It's called fiber optic grass. Great for pots. You know, I have a pot that looks a lot like that. Maybe I'll get some of this for that pot. Dents have it in bright green, wire-like, translucent stems that are tipped with green buds resembling fiber optic bulbs. In the summer, the buds turn into creamy white flowers and then change to a rusty brown as they mature. The fine, lush green foliage hangs loosely over the edges of hanging baskets. Great for pots. Oh, here's some cannas. All these need to do is get out of those little pots and put in the ground. And they'll come back for you every year, no doubt. Oh, this is a pretty phlox. I bought some of that earlier this year and it's doing well. Oh, here's some, what is this? It's a perennial Asclepias tuberosa Hello Yellow. Looks good. It's a perennial. Here's some wire vine. I like this in pots. I think these are just tired of being in these little 4-inch containers. They probably perk up when you get them out. Maybe give them a little bit of fertilizer. Oh, some more lemongrass. Some more petunias. Ooh, look at this. It's a garden accent called Alternanthera Joseph's Coat. I like that. That's an annual for me. Some color in the petunias. Petunias just do not do all that well for me. They're kind of finicky. Oh, here's something pretty. Dianthus Fire Witch. It's a perennial. I like that kind of blue-green foliage. That's pretty. Here's some asters. Purple Dome. Perennial. There's some more begonias. Like I said, those haven't done so well for me in my pots and stuff. I don't think I'm going to get any of those. Ooh. I love this. Lysimachia. Moneywort. Isn't this the one that people call Creeping Jenny? It's perennial. It'll come back every year. Oh, well. Might get one of those. Here's some salvia, annual salvia bedding plants. That red looks pretty. They're good and hardy. Lavender shades. You know, I've tried to grow lavender before, and it just does not do well for me. I think it's because of the heat it can take, but the humidity. I think it's just too humid, and it doesn't like that, I don't think. If we had a more arid climate, it might do better. Ooh, this looks pretty. This is called Daybreak Red Stripe Gazania. Bright daisy-like flowers. That's pretty. And a 6-pack for $4.49. Ooh, those blooms are pretty. Everything just looks kind of tired. No kidding. I know these impatiens don't look like much right now, but if you had the time and if you were willing, you could cut these back like to here and water them well, fertilize them well, kind of keep them in a shady area. They could come back for you. I don't know if anybody would. Well, I tell you, I put some in my garden bed the other day, and they practically look like I cut them down because the deer ate them up. Since then, I've sprayed them with the deer repellent, hoping that they'll grow back and put some blooms on for me. So we'll see how that goes. Ooh, these are pretty succulent type plants called ice plant. Jewel of Desert Grande? I don't know. They're tiny little flowers. Tiny, tiny little flowers. Oh, here's some moss rose. Those are so drought tolerant also. I already have some of those in a pot. And I thought that they would look better than what they do at my house. And let me tell you, they don't hardly get any water at all, which I don't think they like water. They're like a desert plant almost. But yeah, they don't look very good at all at my house. But they look all right there. Here's some. Oh, here's some dahlias. 6-pack of dahlias. Here is a Juca bugleweed. It's a perennial, it's a ground cover. That's a pretty color. I have some ajuga in some shade areas that I planted in the ground to be a ground cover. Yeah, and it does. It spreads. It does a good job. I recommend it. I'm just going to skip over some things that don't look so hot. Look at this. Doesn't that look pretty? Artemisia silver brocade. And then there's the Dusty Miller. Always looks good. Ooh, here's another Artemisia. Artemisia Powys Castle. Perennial. Looks good. Ooh, what's this? This looks good. Oh, foxglove. Oh yeah, those do look good. Now foxglove, they say they're perennials. And I think they're what you call a biennial, where you plant them one year, they don't bloom, and then they'll come back and bloom the next year. And then they die after that, but they drop the seeds around and the seeds will grow a plant the next year. And I've never had foxglove before. I think I already planted a couple of these in the ground, but I might get a couple more. Those look good. Here's some heuchera. Y'all know I've planted that at my house. I do these in pots because they don't do well in my ground. Some more Angelonia. Ooh yeah, and this just looks like little sparklers. That's the Euphorbia. It's an annual. Looks good though. Here's some pretty dianthus. Those look really good. They're quite hardy in my area. I mean, they'll come back, you know, they'll kind of lull and you can deadhead them and then they'll bloom again. I have a good bit of dianthus in one of my beds. There's some more. There's a neat grass-like plant called Spiral Rush. Curly-Q looking plant. These geraniums look pretty good. I'm just not good with geraniums. I guess I don't deadhead them enough. And I don't know, they always look like they need attention to me. What's this? Oh, it's a geranium also. It's a pretty color though. Here's some Cleome annuals. I planted some of those in my garden this year. They're an annual, but I think they drop a lot of seeds and they'll just kind of reseed themselves around. The Copa. Some of that looks good, since it's an annual. Here are snapdragons. I don't think snapdragons like it as hot as what it is here. So, if I had to pick an overall just hardy, sturdy annual for full sun here in Mississippi, I would pick this Evolvulus Blue Days. It is a winner in my book. And it really does have like a true blue looking flower. Isn't that so pretty? But little water requirements, full sun, neglect, and it still looks so pretty. That would probably be my favorite, or one of my favorites. Okay, here's a look at everything that I got. Some pretty flowers in there, and like I said, they were 50% off. So I was quite pleased with my haul here. But I'll get this stuff in the ground or in some pots and get it taken care of. And I'll be sure to bring y'all along with me when I do it, or at least show you where I put it when I get it done. Let me turn this around and I'll give you an overview of everything better. This is a shot of everything that I got at the little flower store today. And it was 50% off. So I'm glad of that. And I will get this in the ground or in pots probably tomorrow. And I'll take y'all with me as I get to planting. Although it all looks pretty right there in that cart. But I will get it in the ground. All right. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. And I hope that y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.